Hello and welcome to West Country Wanderings. I recently went to the Steam Museum, also known as the Museum of the Great Western Railway in Swindon recently. This fantastic museum, full of railwayana and complete locomotives, opened in the year 2000, and it covers a whopping 6,500 square metres. I went there with Louise from Southwest Sunday's YouTube channel, and it also coincided with their Steam Festival event, which was a model railway haven with much else besides, including some traction engines around the front of the building. Louise has done a separate video over on her YouTube channel, Southwest Sundays, about the day, and I'll link to her video at the end of this one. The museum is housed in a former engineering workshop built in 1842 using squared-off rubble from the construction of Box Tunnel on the line between London Paddington and Bristol Temple Meads. The workshop was part of the huge GWR Swindon works, more about which in a bit. Steam Museum tells the social story of the railway community in Swindon, with recorded personal recollections and film archives. There are some truly impressive lifelike reconstructions of some of the sights and sounds of the inside of Swindon Works. It's all excellently done. There are set reconstructions of areas of work, like a brilliant set of the former GWR Works admin section, and the stores where all of the vital parts and essential necessities to keep the wheels of the Swindon Works turning. The museum also holds an extensive archive of books, periodicals, photographs, drawings and plans relating to the Great Western Railway. I remember when I was young going to another railway museum in Swindon, and that one was opened in June 1962, and it was sited in Farringdon Road, close to the former works site. The extensive locomotive collection includes a replica of North Star, an early 2,140mm, that's 7'1¼ in old money, broad gauge locomotive. Also in the museum is GWR number 473 Caerphilly Castle, which you can walk underneath. Caerphilly Castle was built in 1923, and it was originally exhibited 100 years ago at the British Empire exhibition. Its last shed allocation was Cardiff Canton in 1959. King George V, locomotive number 6000, the first one in the King class, was built in 1927, and it's also here at Steam in Swindon, currently on loan from the National Railway Museum in York. King George V was designed by Charles B. Collett and built here in Swindon. Collett designed all of the King class to the maximum dimensions of the original GWR broad gauge, which resulted in the largest loading gauge of all the pre-nationalised railways, with a maximum height of 4.09 metres. This, however, restricted the King class to where they could operate on the network. However, the increased weight and power enabled them to pull 13 or more coach expresses from London to Bristol and onwards into the deeper West Country at a higher speed than the Castle class. Swindon Works opened in 1843, and it served as the principal West of England building and maintenance centre for the GWR until it closed in 1986. In 1837, Isambard Kingdom Brunel recruited one Daniel Gooch and gave him the job of rectifying the heavy repair burden of the GWR's mixed bag of purchased locomotives. It became clear that the GWR needed a central repair works, so in 1840 Daniel Gooch identified a site in Swindon, close to the junction with the Golden Valley Line, the line to Cheltenham. He proposed it to the GWR directors in 1841, and the works became operational just 2 years later. Swindon Works transformed Swindon from a small 2,500 population market town into a large and bustling railway town. The works were sited to the north of the original town centre, what is now known as Old Town, and the GWR provided extensively for the large workforce by building a workers' village near the works. Many of these properties and streets have been restored, and they are well worth exploring. The terraced 2-storey cottages were built on 2 blocks of 4 parallel streets. Each road was named after the destinations of trains that passed nearby: Bristol, Bath, Taunton, London, Oxford and Reading, to name a few. It is thanks to the poet and railway fan John Betjeman that Swindon Railway Village was saved, and much of it now lies in a wider conservation area. In 1921 to 1941, the works boiler making facility was expanded, and at Swindon Works height it employed an incredible 14,000 people. Work continued here in BR days after nationalisation too, with the diesel hydronic locomotives like the warships and the Westerns being built here with much pride, but later locomotive standardisation across the network meant that these were phased out and production sadly stopped. Thankfully, many of the buildings survive, as well as the Steam Museum. The engineer's office is now the headquarters of English Heritage, and most of the remaining buildings have been developed as part of the designer outlet shopping village, which is also well worth visiting. Thank you for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Take care. Bye for now.